then we were.
That trumpet sound, boy, you don't wanna miss out. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in the Lord or you out, the Lord. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in the Lord or you out.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. It's about time, boy.
All praises.
Pay attention.
All right, y'all. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah and His only begotten Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, by way of that Ruach HaKodesh. We want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody tuning in. I'm Akburn. I'm accompanied by my Sev Yah. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. This is the Shabbat. This is a set-apart gathering. We want to give a recognition to everybody tuning in to these Babylon streets. And that's exactly what we came here to do, was talk to these Babylon streets. Yeah. So all praises to the Most High. Just to start off, we felt it very necessary to gather, on this day and bring forth this message, just based on the things that are taking place in real time within the community and within the nation. And when I say nation, I mean the nation of course, of America, but more so the nation of our people, of who we actually are. So our mission is to go forth throughout the world and to proclaim who we are and who we belong to. And who we are is what they'll tell you, the Hebrew Israelites, or the Yahudim in the Hebrew. We are the Yahudim of Yasharal, and we belong to the Most High, the Creator, the Sovereign Creator of the universe, Yahuwah, and we give honor unto His Son, HaMashiach, the Messiah, Yahushua. So for many of y'all hearing this for the first time, this may seem strange to you, but that's what we're here to discuss, because that's a big problem if you've never heard of this, right? That's a big problem if you've never heard of this. And we are going into the importance of the scriptures. So for, many folks may have come by way of Christianity, way of Islam, way of atheism, or whatever form of spirituality that you've been introduced to or brought up on. But we're here to declare the truth to you today, and we're here to guide you in all honesty and all truth in the spirit and the ruach of the Most High Yahuwah. So we're not going to waste too much time speaking out of our own minds, but we're going to go into the scriptures. And when we talk about the scriptures, what we're speaking on is basically the Bible, right? The Bible. And just a little bit for those, for somebody who is deep into the truth or deep into, maybe this ain't for you. You see what I'm saying? But I feel it is for you, but maybe this ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? But we're really trying to talk to them lost sheep. Those brothers on the corner, those sisters out there on the corner. Every day you look up is murder. Every day you look up it's a kidnapping, it's a child that didn't run away from a circumstance at home, right? So that's what we're talking to. We're talking to the lost ones, the forgotten ones. If you're not lost, you got all the answers, you know, hey, look, don't worry about it, right? But you're free to tune in, right? But it is a Shabbat. We are here to gather. We are here to bring forth the truth. So I think we just get right into it, our key. The importance of the scriptures. So when we speak about the scriptures, we're going to be speaking about what they'll call the Holy Bible and 66 books that they've given to us. But we know that that's not all of the scriptures, right? But we're going to focus mainly on the 66 and some other apocryphal books. So for those who don't know, the original 1611 King James Bible actually had about 14 more books included, if I'm not mistaken. So those books are called the Apocrypha, and those mean hidden. So the Apocrypha is hidden books. They've been hidden for a purpose, right? And we'll get into a little bit of that. So that's primarily what we'll be reading out of. And a little acronym you can use for Bible is BIBLE, basic instruction before leaving earth. So that is exactly what the Bible is here for us to do, right? Yeah. We refer to them as the scriptures. Let's do this real quick. I don't know we didn't discuss it, but let's say John 5:39. We're in the book of what they're called John. We're gonna introduce y'all to the Hebraic terminology because we're getting back in tune with our culture, we're getting back in tune with the Most High, and we're getting back in tune with the truth. And the fact of the matter is, there is no truth in the name of John, right? John is a John Doe. That's some of the Europeans use when they can't describe the body, right? There was no letter J, even in the English language, up to about 500, 600 years ago. So with that being said, we know there's a certain name that runs rampant through the earth that everybody wants to say. Salvation is in that name. But if the letter J is the newest addition to the English language, which it is, it's impossible for that to be his name. So, keep that in mind. And we're going to bring forth the true name of the Creator. We're not going to call him G-O-D, because G-O-D backwards is a dog. And you're right. So we're going to bring forth the Most High's name, Yahuwah, and his title, Elohim. And we're going to bring forth the name of the Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world will ignorantly call J-E-S-U-S, Jesus the Christ. Right? We're in the book of Yehukanah, the book of John, chapter 5, and verse 39.
Book of John, chapter 5, verse 39 says, "Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me."
All praises. So he said, search the scriptures. So that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the scriptures. So this is coming from the Messiah, HaMashiach, right? He said, search the scriptures. Now you can get on Google and search the scriptures, but that's probably not what y'all is searching on Google and on YouTube and TikTok. Y'all probably not searching the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? He said, for in them you think you have eternal life. Right, so it's something going on in the scriptures to where these people thought that they was good just by searching the scriptures, right? It says, and they are they which testify of me. So he said, even in the scriptures, they're talking about me. So let's hit that 14 and 6.
Going to John, chapter 14, verse 6, that says, Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father, but by me.
All praises. So he said, search the scriptures, for you think you got life in them, but they are they which testify of me. Then he said to him, he's the way, the truth, and the life. So Yahushua is the life that you're searching for in the scriptures. And no man coming to the Father but by me. So I know there's a lot of doctrine going on. I know there's a lot of beliefs. When we say doctrines, we're just talking about what's been taught to you or what you take in. I know people are saying, well, Jesus ain't real. Well, I agree, Jesus ain't real. Okay. But the Mashiach is real, and his name is Yahushua. So the Mashiach is the way to the Father. If you don't have that connection to the Father, you are damned to burn in eternity in the lake of fire. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I want everybody just to contemplate that. Okoti was talking earlier about how she was cooking one day and got popped by some grease. This was before she was in True. We're gonna mention what kind of grease it was.
Swine. Tell it. Swine.
Oh, man. But she said the pain from that grease was so excruciating. She said, if that's just one little speck, one little spittle, then I'm not cut out for the lake of fire. And I'm in complete agreement. So, you know, we've all been through things, right? Some have been shot, some have been stabbed, some of us have ailments on our body. And that pain is not to be compared with the lake of fire. So, you know, you hear these preachers out here, fire and brimstone, fire and brimstone. Well, yes, it is a message of fire and brimstone, because you wouldn't wish the lake of fire on your worst enemy. You see what I'm saying? You would actually ask the Most High, have mercy on their soul, because we are all just on that line, right? None of us deserve to make it into the kingdom. So we're going to let the scripture speak to that here in a minute too. But the key point, take away, is no man cometh unto the Father but by me. And this is the Mashiach speaking. You want to bring the precept out?
Sit down.
We're going to bring out Deuteronomy 30, verse 15. Going back to John 14 and 6, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. We're going to go hit up Deuteronomy 30, verse 15. See, I have set before you this day life and good, and death and evil. In that I command you this day to love the Most High thy Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply. And the Most High thy Elohim shall bless you in the land where you go to possess it. Praise.
Praises. So he said a couple of things before them, before us, right? He said in 15, see, I have set before thee this day life and good. So that's on the table. And death and evil. So that's also on the table. So which path do you choose? You know, which path do you choose, young man? Which path do you choose, young woman? Which path do you choose? Old head. You see what I'm saying? You in the streets. We talking to these Babylon streets.
Yes, sir.
We in the streets. I came up in the streets. Hello? Like, we got to keep it real, though. Because it's like this. It's like folks see the fringes, or they see the suit and tie. They see you in the church house. They see you in the mosque. And it's this holier than thou walk. Shabbat shalom. It's this holier than thou walk. It's this impression that once I go turn on T.D. Jakes and Joel Osteen, you know what I'm saying, and hit a couple of scriptures, my life is just about to miraculously change, get better. I'm not about to, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm about to have this new talk, new walk. But like, let's just keep it real. Like, many of us come from different walks of life. We'd have been in jail. We'd have been in prison. We'd have been some college, right? So all these different walks of life, but everybody just lost. Everybody just gone. And then it all come back. I know, you know what I mean? Folks that got college degrees, I know don't use them, and they still in the streets. They still in poverty, or they still just in a mindset of debauchery, meaning like just, you know, filth. Just a filthy mindset, right? Some of these people that run your corporations got filthy mindset. The music industry, filthy mindset. Look at P. Diddy's situation. You know what I'm saying? But these are the people that they put on the pedestal. So at the end of the day, you know, everybody's out there Diddy bobbing, but Diddy was out there Diddy bobbing. But the thing is, like, once everybody see you fall, now it's point the finger, but you really need to be looking in the mirror because you had an appetite for that at one time. And see, that's how the industry will do you, and that's how these people at the top will do you. They'll push this luxurious life in your face, you know what I'm saying? But they haven't brought you back here to the scriptures. So we're going to search the scriptures and see what's good, what's life, and what is dead. Where we want to go next? Let's go here. Let's go to Isaiah 46 and 10. So we're talking about the importance of the scriptures, right? And I know it's like, well, you know, I don't see myself in the scriptures. And see, that's the problem. You don't see yourself in the scriptures, but you see yourself in the mosque, you see yourself in the club, you see yourself in all these other places, but you don't see yourself here because they're getting the key of knowledge from you. They've stripped you of your identity, they've stripped you of your heritage. And when you don't have that, now you up for grabs. So you're up for grabs. Your daughter up for grabs. Your son up for grabs. Their minds aren't girded. They out here looking up to every little hood rat that's making a song or driving a Hellcat. Like, that's what they care about. They care about the materialistic things. They care about the clout, and they care about the exposure. Everybody out here trying to go viral. Well, we're going to go viral for Yahuwah. Hallelujah. We're in the book of Isaiah, Yashayahu, chapter 46 and 10. Jump up there, I'll kid about.
All right, with Isaiah 46 and 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am Elohim, and there is none else. I am Elohim, and there is none like me.
So hold on real quick. So he's telling us, search the scriptures, and then you think you got eternal life. He said before you life and good and death and evil. Then he's saying, remember the former things of old. So now we got a whole lot of new age stuff on the table. So y'all will see us and be like, well, why are they still trying to do that when we live in 2025? Because he told us, remember the former things of old. For I am Elohim, and there is none else. You're trying to get to the Father, right? That's why y'all spiritual and got crystals and humming and sitting down doing yoga stances. He said, I am Elohim, and there is none like me. Ain't no Buddha like me. Ain't no damn Allah like me. Muhammad is a false prophet. Hello. Muhammad is a false prophet. TD Jakes is a false prophet. Like, we're going to stand bold and just tell y'all the truth. I ain't gonna be scared about no Muslim doing to me. Muslim is going to fall. Islam is going to fall. Christianity is going to fall. Everything is about to crumble. It's about to happen sooner than we think. The world is moving towards a mark of the beast. You won't be able to buy, you won't be able to sell. And then after you get done struggling in this life, you're going to burn up in hell. That's what we're telling you. So-called hell, right? The lake of fire. Let's get that off.
I'm going to start back at 9 and emphasize. Remember the former things of old, for I am Elohim, and there is none else. I am Elohim, and there is none like me. 10. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
All praises. All praises. So as we tackle this subject, the importance of the scriptures, here's the importance. The importance is he's declaring the end from the beginning. There's no other book out there that you can get this from. Declaring the end from the beginning. When he says that, he literally means that, right? He's declared all events that was going to take place. He declared it in the book of Genesis, in Bereshit. It says, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, right? So back then when I was writing this, he already had it put forth to where when it happens, you're like, oh, man, now I see what he was talking about. So that's the importance. They said, my counsel shall stand. This is gonna happen. This is Yahuwah Elohim speaking. He said, this is gonna happen. It don't matter how much time go by. It don't matter how much they try to switch up the words, switch up the names. Book of Mormonism come in, 7-Day Adventist. It don't matter who try to twist his word, his counsel shall stand. And I will do all my pleasure. He's going to have his way. Yahuwah will have his way. He's going to have his reign. So that's the importance of the scriptures, right? The importance is you get insight and foresight on what's to come. Book of Matthew Yahuwah at chapter 24. We're in the book of Matthew chapter 24. And, a lot of brothers out there, y'all time is tied up in entertainment, but you're going to have to open a book. You're going to have to open a book, get some knowledge on your head, because you got to be swept up. You're going to be swept up. And once your belly start touching your back, you're going to be down to do anything to eat. You're going to be down to do anything to find some shelter. You're going to be down to do anything strange for some change. Like, you're going to be in a bad position if you don't start sobering up your mind and getting your life in agreement to the instructions that Yahuwah is placed upon us. We're in the book of Matthew, as they call it, Matthew Yahoo, chapter 24, at verse 1 through 14.
And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple. And his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be?
So he said, they're coming to you, Master, when's this going to happen? When is prophecy going to take place? You can read,
And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
What is going to be the sign of, so they knew it was going to be the sign of his coming, and when he comes, that's going to be the end of the world. Y'all understand that? So when he comes back, that's the end of this age. The end of this world is going to be a new age that takes place. Right? So everything we're accustomed to, everything that we're used to doing on a regular, that's not going to be the norm. This is not the norm. We're trying to get back to a place of where Yahuwah created us. When Yahushua will come back, we're going to be back in the norm. Right? But that's not to say it's not going to go without judgment. You do not want to be on the other edge of that sword when he returns. And a lot of folks don't respect the Mashiach because how he came. He came humble. He came simple. He came down from the Shamayim. But the next time he comes, he's not coming so meek. He's going to be coming as a king. He came as a servant because the best leaders are the best servants. So he has to show you, he to lead by example. But the next time he comes, it will not be, this humble, just this man that's just taking it on the cheek. He's not turning the other cheek. All right, so that's the importance of the scripture. The importance of understanding the scriptures is to escape judgment. Where we at?
Verse 4.
Verse 4.
And Yahushua answered and said unto them, the first thing that he said to them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
So right there, we see some things taking place that we can attest to in our lifetime and probably our parents' and grandparents' lifetime. Where we've seen many anti-Mashiach or many people that claim that they are the Mashiach, the Christ, and have deceived many. The people that drunk the Kool-Aid. People sitting there drinking the Kool-Aid waiting on who was that? Jim Jones.
Yeah, Jim Jones.
Jim Jones had the people drink that Kool-Aid. You know about that? Yeah.
It was
suicide.
Yeah.
They poisoned the drink. Had everybody sit there and drink the drink. I think they were waiting on some spaceships gonna pick them up or something.
The Lord said, drink this juice.
Drink this juice. And see, they got deceived and they died. And they're not following the truth. So it's not for me to judge and say where you're gonna go, but you have been deceived. That's a direct violation of what the Mashiach just. They was reading the same book we read. You see what I'm saying? So if you're not careful, your mind will get just open to anything, and then now you just pull somewhere that you ain't have no business. So he said, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Mashiach, I am the Christ, and shall deceive many." You could go,
Before I continue, I got it in the same chapter. I just want to bring out a precept to what you were saying right now. 24 and 24. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
You want to expand on that?
The very elect. As he just said, like, these false prophets are going to show great signs. So if we're not rooted in Mashiach, how he tells us to be when we search the scriptures, and actually search the scriptures, then we very chance we can be deceived too. If we ain't rooted in Mashiach.
We keeping it real today, our kid.
Yes,
Same assemblies that we've been, like that with falling away though. Like, I gotta look at what the Mashiach said. Like, there ain't no way to get to the Father but through him. Even in the Old Testament, they did not go straight to the Father. Even in the law, you had to go through a Levite, a priest, and he would go into the Holy of Holies. So, now these doctrines are coming out, but the same book that we used to get us here, right? The same book we used to clean our minds, the same scriptures. Now we start doubting. Different camps with different doctrines, different so-called churches or assemblies with different doctrines. When the Mashiach told us we shall all speak the same thing. So we're here to really, that's why it's important to gather so much. Because the mishpaka is the rubbing together, right? You come together, you rub together, and what does that do? Iron sharpening iron. So we're here to sharpen each other's iron. We're here to, now a little rust on your blade, iron, ching. The more we clash together, come together, the better off we'll be, as long as we're directed in this truth. You want to hit that verse 6, our kid?
And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Only hearing that now.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing and we're hearing that now.
They're not rumors.
They ain't a rumor.
See that you be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
So this is not the end, right? But these are suckers they ask. Hey, what's going to be the sign of your coming? Then you start laying it down. Hey, you're going to have wars and rumors of war. Hey, what else he said? He said, you're going to have the false messiahs coming. You're going to, what it say in verse 7, huh?
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places.
We just came out of COVID. Venezuela, right a little bit before COVID, they was eating their pet rabbits and cats and all that, and inflation was at an all-time high. Bundle of bread was probably 500 pesos, or whatever their currency is.
Y'all think the price of eggs lately? Come on now, $5. That's the cheapest.
We're moving into these times. The earthquake just happened in Myanmar and Burmese. In 2010, it was the big boy in Hades. You know what I'm saying? I want to say around that time, maybe a couple of years before, we had an earthquake here in Indianapolis. Now that's a diverse place. We don't have earthquakes, but you see, like, you might say, well, that was a long time. That's not really that long ago. You see what I'm saying? And he said the end is not yet. So once you start seeing these things take place, these are like when you're driving, you see landmarks. You know what I'm saying? So when you're navigating through these scriptures, you're asking questions just like they was. Then you see a landmark. He's gonna say, hey man, when you pull up down there downtown, you're gonna see the big Lucas Dome. I'm right over there, but that's a landmark. You see what I'm saying? So once you start seeing these events take place, these are landmarks to say where we at in the timeline. In verse 8,
all these are the beginning of sorrows.
So this is the beginning of sorrows. So the beginning of sorrows is like birth pains that we're not going to go that deep into it today, but we'll most high willing continue on another time on this. But we have to go through these things to birth the Mashiach back into this realm. Once the affliction gets so high, the elect, for the elect, say, right, the Mashiach will return and put an end to the suffering, and he will reign for 1,000 years. So for anybody who hasn't heard this, this is all in the book. You know, it may sound like a fairy tale to you, but this is the truth. We're literally living out prophecy right now. And we're about to transition after this, is we're going to show you exactly who we are and how we know this is the truth. Verse 9, Aki.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
So you're not going to be hated because you believe in Buddha or because you're super spiritual. You're going to be hated for the Mashiach's sake, because you're, for the Mashiach's name's sake, because you are in the truth. You're going to be hated because, you know, you have disconnected yourself from the Babylonian system. That's why you're going to be hated. Verse 10 up here.
Then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. Because iniquity or lawlessness shall abound, the love of many shall grow cold. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
Okay, so he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. But they told us our whole life growing up that the Messiah gonna come back, he gonna rapture us up, and we ain't gonna have to go through no heartache or no heart pain. We are going to be zapped up. And then everybody else down here gonna have to figure it out or something. Like, really don't make no sense when you think about it. Because they said it's gonna be the second coming. If that's the case, then we're looking for a third coming. So this stuff don't even make sense.
And the scriptures don't say nothing about a third coming.
Don't say nothing about a third coming. Nothing. So there is no rapture coming in the aspect of you're gonna get saved out of this, right? He said, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. So you have to endure this thing. In order to endure, you have to build yourself up in the Ruach and allow Yahuwah to gird you up through his Ruach HaKodesh, to set apart spirit. You have to allow him into your mind and into your heart to clean up your mind and your wicked thoughts. Like, you don't think you're doing wicked because you just hit a lick and broke bread with the click. But like, we're gonna see, I want the scriptures to speak it, you know. But yeah, ain't no rapture coming. The rapture is gonna be for the wicked. And then he said, and this Bashura, or this gospel of the kingdom, shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So that's what we're witnessing now, right? Literally, that's what we're doing at this moment. We're going out through the airwaves, we're broadcasting, not just us, right? But there's plenty of people out here speaking the truth, trying to get you to open your eyes to this gospel, this Bashura, and they are giving you a sure word and a sure chain of events that is about to happen that you need to prepare yourself for. So this is why these scriptures are important. This is the benefit of understanding the scriptures. You want to hit 2 Timothy 3:1, and then we can hit the precepts. 2 Timothy, and we believe in the entire Bible. We don't, discredit the New Testament, but we also go back into the so-called, and this is a so-called New Testament. We also go back into the so-called Old Testament, and we link it together. That's how you understand. You gotta link it together, right? So we're in the book of 2 Timothy at 3 and 1. We're gonna read down to about 7. Praise.
2 Timothy 3 and 1. This know also that in the last days perilous time shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemous, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heedy, high-minded, lovers of pleasure, more than lovers of Yah.
All right, let's pause right there, all right? Because you're breaking them down. You hear me? You're buzzing them down. Do y'all hear what he's saying? All of these attributes are going to be landmarks for the behavior of men in these last days. Now, you know, I'm no genius, but I think when I look around, I see all of these attributes on the majority of people. The majority of people are acting like this. It says, verse 1, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. So real quick, because I don't want to lie to you, we're going to look up this word perilous. This word perilous. And it's coming from a Greek word called kalipos. And that's G5467. And it means hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage. So in these last days, they are savage times. So we can replace perilous with savage. It says, this know also that in the last days, savage times shall come. And you know, all the little YNs running around talking about these savages. Drill, drill, kill, kill. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. Everybody is just in love with themselves. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about self. They don't even want to take care of their children. It's all about themselves. It's all about doing it for the gram, doing it for TikTok. And it can also be taken another way, because men are lovers of themselves. These men are doing unseemly acts together, right? Covetous, being jealous, boasters, bragging, get my shine on, right? Proud, blasphemers, mocking the word, you know, to blaspheme the Creator. This is all, come on, this is all happening. These people got podcasts and just sit here and just blaspheme the Mashiach in the middle of a podcast like it ain't nothing. They'll mock it. There was a challenge going on at one point in time, the blaspheme challenge, when folks was just literally taking it upon themselves to blaspheme the Holy Ruach. So these things are taking place. It said disobedient to parents. Like the level of obedience with these children versus when we was coming up is way different.
Children,
Boy, clear it up.
They tell them what to do. I don't want to do that, Mama. I don't want to do that, Daddy. When we was growing up, it was yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. They said unthankful, unholy, not set apart, right? And that's the fear for the righteous, because we got to send our children out into that, right? So that's why in the home it's important that we gird ourselves and we gird our children up with this mindset. We got to gird them up with this mindset, because they're going out there and you can't hold their hand 24/7. So you children need to know how to behave yourself and conduct yourself when mommy and daddy ain't around, right? And you're going to have to lean on your heavenly Father in them times of distress. It says without natural affection. The lady just put her children in the oven and it showed the father running in trying to get them out. He couldn't make it in time. That's not natural affection. Natural affection is to nurse your children. Natural affection is to protect your children, not to be their demise. truce breakers, right? Diddy just gave Cassie all that money to settle the case, and she
Still went to court.
still went to court.
Thanks for the free money.
Oh, false accusers, right? Just lying on people. Incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. They see you doing good, and they can't stand you. You gotta do what on Saturday? I gotta keep the Shabbat. Who you think he is? He ain't never gonna come to work on Saturday. I ain't gonna be there though. Right. We doing good. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you know, they see your acts of kindness. It don't even gotta be nothing major to you. It just be your personality or just your mindset, and people can't stand it. So, you know, one thing I noticed is, you know, even just in casual conversation, right? Be, hey, what's up, bro? You know, how you doing today? And let's say it's a Monday. It's a Monday. He'd be like, yeah, it is a Monday, bro. Like, you know, what's wrong with Monday? Right. You know? Oh, it's a Monday. And, you know, I had to start flipping it up. I'll be like, yeah, man, we ain't here getting to this money. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm fortunate to get to this money. I'm fortunate to be able. But, like, to see another day. But folks that see your charisma or to see just how you moving, and they'll despise it. You see what I'm saying? So we got to just keep our minds on. It says traitors. They'll trade on you, needy, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of Elohim. And verse 5, Aki.
Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such, turn away.
So he giving us instruction that, you know, you try the spirit by the spirit, but once you see, hey man, you ain't really that what you talking about, right? You got to turn away. You got to turn away. Verse 6.
For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women, laden with sins, led away with divers lusts. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
Ever learning, and we're gonna stop right there. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. So that's why we're sticking to the scriptures, because this is the truth. Because all these other books and all this other stuff, yeah, it might be good to expound on certain things in here, but you can't take everything in. You can't take everything in. Even in the book of Acts, you see a time where they burned all their strange, curious books of art, right? They was doing witchcraft. Aki, let's go. You got another precept?
Off the top, I know we want to hit that Baruch.
We're gonna go into the Apocrypha, and we're gonna hit Baruch chapter 2 at verse 30.
As a matter of fact, before we do go on to that, while we was in 2 Timothy 3, I want to hit that 2 Timothy 3 as well. We had read earlier that they search the scriptures where they think they have life in. So I want to pull up 2 Timothy 3:16. It says, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High. It is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of the Most High may be perfect, truly furnished unto all good works. I wanted to bring that out, set that as emphasize that.
All praises. And so the scriptures is given by inspiration, right? The scriptures was inspired, because a lot of folks will say this. They'll say, well, that's a man-made book. But the man is just a vessel being used by the Spirit to write these things, because there's no way that without the Spirit, there's no way nobody knows the future, right? Even, you don't even got to be in the truth just to have, is it intuition? Is that what they call it? Yep. Everybody has a form of intuition, right? A little foresight. But the scriptures is going to magnify that and keep you safe in using that. Because anything that is of man is fallible, but if it's guided by the Ruach, it's perfect. So that's what we seek, is perfection. We're going to the Apocrypha, the book of Baruch 2 at verse, you're going to start at 29 out
Yeah.
through 31.
Baruch chapter 2, verse 29 through 31. If you will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them.
All right, so hold up. So we're talking about what's the importance of knowing the scriptures? Why is everybody out here in some like wicked mindset and our people? I'm talking about our community, our people, the black folks, right? Why are we so lost? Why are we so dumb? Why are we at the bottom of the barrel? Well, it tells us right here, right? Because if the Bible is true, which it is, this has to fit a certain people. This has to fit a certain people. And the people that are telling you is Israel, they don't fit this description. The people over there in the land called Israel don't fit nothing happening in the Bible except the part where we're talking about they're going to basically be under a deception and dwell in the tents of Shem. That's the only prophecy they really fulfill as far as identity. So it said, if ye will not hear my voice, which we just read in 2 Timothy, the condition of the modern day mindset. So we're not adhering to the voice of Yahuwah. Surely this very great multitude, and growing up, they said, man, you was a great people. Y'all was kings and queens. So it was a great multitude, shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. Who has been scattered? What other nations have been scattered? All four corners of the earth. Ain't nobody else, y'all. Like, we fit the description. If we was in court and they was busting down the evidence, our fingerprints is all over the weapon. What does it say, verse 30, y'all?
For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
They shall remember themselves in the land of their captivity. So if the white man Jew is the true so-called Jew or Yahudi, if he's the real child of the Most High, why did he never forget himself? When did the Jew forget himself over there? Like they did.
When did they come into remembrance of who they were?
And they landed in captivity. That's happening with us. We're going forth like, hey, look, man, I've been reading this book. All right, man, guess what I found out? I ain't going back to church on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Then you like, man, what, man? Bro, tripping. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what he talking about. And then you pick it up. I can't deny that dog. Dang, what it say, y'all? It say, he turned into a small number among the nations. Right, was scattered here. We was scattered. What it say in 30, y'all?
For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves.
At 31.
And shall know that I am the master, their Elohim. For I will give them a heart and ears to hear.
And I'm going to go into 32. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. So you see that chain of events, right? We didn't listen, but the Most High in the book of Isaiah, he already told us that he declared the end from the beginning. So he already had it mapped out that there would be a way to get back to him. He said, in the land of their captivity, they're going to remember themselves, and shall know that I, Yahuwah, the Most High, or I will give them a heart and ears to hear. Now we have a heart and an ear to hear. So now we're going out and we're sharing the message. Hopefully you have a heart and an ear to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity. We keeping a Shabbat. We giving all praises unto the Most High.
In
the land of our captivity. So this is a fact that is happening right now. This is important to know. Let's hit your precept out in chapter 4.
Baruch 4, verse 28.
And Baruch was the scribe for Jeremiah, if I'm not mistaken.
For as it was your mind to go astray from Yah, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Seek him 10 times more. So as much as we love to go contrary to the Most High, as much as we love to do wickedness, as much as we love to trap, as much as we love to twerk, as much as we like to hustle, as much as we like to swindle and scam and scheme, you got to do 10 times more in righteousness. This should be on your mind all day. This should be on your mind all night. And maybe it don't just happen overnight for you like that, but you need to surround yourself with brothers and sisters who is on that. You need to really lend your ear to a wise person. You need to really tap in. I'm going to go to the book of Proverbs out here. And we're going to go to Proverbs 1, and this is what we're going to we're going to start at the top. We're going to start at verse 1. And we're going to go down. We might make it through the whole thing. We might not. But definitely starting at verse 1. I'm ready.
Proverbs chapter 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding.
So that's the purpose of this, right? The purpose of the scriptures, but specifically the purpose of these proverbs, is to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. So for anybody out there who's searching, it's good to go to the proverbs, right? Because maybe some of the other stuff is just a little too deep for you. Proverbs is going to teach you wisdom and teach you how to move in everyday real life situations. You can read on up.
To know wisdom and instruction. Verse 3. To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment and equity. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion.
So when it says simple in Bible talk, it's basically a nice way of saying stupid or dumb. Like without this knowledge, you're stupid or dumb. And that, I'm not even trying to, diss nobody. Before I got into the scriptures and came into the truth, was stupid and doing dumb stuff. That's just what it is. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. So the young man, we don't have no discretion or no knowledge out here. You ask about who you are, what's your family lineage, what's your family tree. They don't know. Discretion, they don't have no discretion not to do something, right? Not to kick the door down, not to shoot the other dude, not to go to jail. They don't have no discretion not to get her pregnant, right? Verse 5.
Wise men will hear and will increase learning, and the man of understanding shall attain or acquire unto wise counsel.
So if you don't increase in learning in this, what does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? You can also look at it like that and say, a wise man will hear, will increase learning. So if you don't increase learning after hearing messages like this go forward, after reading the scriptures, after being surrounded by people trying to put some knowledge on your head, trying to put some meat on your head, what does that tell you about yourself? You're not that wise. And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. If you don't listen to wise counsel, you're not that smart. And I know like nobody likes to be called a dummy, but you're a dummy by choice, right? Don't be a dummy. Get your mind right. Verse 6.
To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise in their dark sayings.
And their dark sayings is secret knowledge, right? So by going through the process of cleaning up your mind, cleaning up your temple, following Yahuwah, to understand the proverb and the interpretation, because you got to interpret it, right? Because it's spoken in a poetic way. The words of the wise and their dark sayings. So then you'll be able to interpret these things. Just like me, I keep sitting down, he's like, man, that brings something else to mind. This is what this means. You see what I'm saying? Yahuwah gonna put that same mind on you. Verse 7.
The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge. That's the importance of the scriptures. The importance of the scriptures is to obtain fear of Yahuwah, because right now you don't fear nothing. You don't even care if you live or you die or not. You go out there and just roll the dice on it, right? Y'all about to go try to steal a car or something. Because we talking to these Babylon streets, y'all.
Yes, sir.
She about to try to go out there and finesse homeboy and set him up. And somebody might get killed tonight. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is real talk. Like, this is real talk. And it's our family members. Like, because it's easy to be like, yeah, that happens in the community or that happens in somebody's community. Like, we're talking about, like, our cousins. We're talking about our sons. We're talking about our daughters, our mamas. Like, we got to clean it up. We got to clean up the household. It says the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And in the Bible, the word fool is one of the biggest disses that you can have upon you. So you goofy in modern day. It's like you goofy, you lame. That is all under fool, right? So don't just read it like, oh yeah, fool, you know. But now we'll say, oh, we're a fool. Like, nah, bro, ain't no fool. Verse 8,
My son, hear the instructions of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto your head, and chains about thy neck.
So everybody like jewelry, right? But like the real jewelry ain't what's on your wrist or what's on your neck or in your ear, right? The real jewelry is the law, right? That's the real jewelry. It said, my son, hear the instruction of thy father and forsake not the law of thy mother. So the instruction and the law, right, which is the law. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head. So that's why when you see the righteous, they got a little bit different glow to them. It don't matter what they wearing per se. It's like, man, it's just something about that brother said, yeah, when I see him. You see what I'm saying? It's just, when I speak to him, it's something, man, he, you know, you don't even got to be in the truth, but people will tell you a lot. They'll be like, man, you know, I like talking to you because it's like I get re-energized. You know what I'm saying? Because that is the ornament of grace unto thy head and chains about thy neck. So when you're walking in righteousness and when the Most High is anointing you, that is equivalent to having a rollie on. You see what I'm saying? I get to go back to work and I kept Shabbat with them in Sparkle. You see what I'm saying? I'm flexing that.
Just how we flex the watch or flex the necklace, flex that too.
That verse 10, our kid.
My son, if sinners entice you, consent you not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk secretly for the innocent without cause.
Hey, ain't this a real life situation? So to the boys in the room, to the young men, y'all gotta listen to what Shalom is saying, Solomon is saying, right? This is what he was taught by his mother and his father. This is what he was taught by the Most High. Because this is a real life thing that can happen. Sinners. Who are sinners? Those who's not keeping the Torah, right? Those who's not keeping the law. So if the sinners come to you, consent thou not. Don't listen to them. That's not going to make you lame. That's not going to make you goofy. You know what I'm saying? If you got to stand on your own team, mommy and daddy ain't going to be there with you all the time, right? So he's giving them instructions. So when you go out there, you can hold fast to what you know is right. What is it, 11 again?
If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood.
Hey, man, I got a sweet lick. I got a sweet lick we can hit. Right?
Let us lurk secretly for the innocent without cause.
You can keep going.
Let us swallow them up alive as the grave and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil.
So it's like, man, we got a sweet lick we can hit. All we gotta do is wait for them to catch them slipping, and then we're gonna go in there. We're gonna rack up. Right? That's a real life situation. But see, if it's the dark sayings mixed in there, right? You get caught up on the wordplay, but all he's telling you is, hey man, don't be out here robbing people. Don't be out here killing people for their spoils that they worked for. What is it? Cast in thy lot among us. let us all have one purse. Hey man, we're gonna all get this bag together. Right. So everybody we're gonna all go in on this. We're gonna all get this bag together. And that go for any type of wickedness. But say 15,
My son, walk not you in the way with them. Refrain your foot from their path, for their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk secretly for their own lives. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof.
Talking about murder and talking about stealing and killing and all kind of matters of wickedness. What is saying 20, y'all?
Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Fools hate knowledge. How long, ye simple ones? How long, ye stupid ones? Will you love to be stupid? We got to put it in terminology that's going to hit you in your chest. Are you stupid? Do you want to be stupid? And the scorners delight in their scorning. Scorning and mocking the righteous, scorning and mocking the nerd. But the nerd going to be in your boss. And fools hate knowledge. And now you're in the rat race. And now the mark of the beast is coming. And now you're going to do something strange for that change. At verse 23.
Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded.
Man, I sent Octavia to you. I sent Ocburn to you. I sent Mr. Charles to you. I sent the prophets to you. You don't want to listen. You don't even want to hear it. So what are you going to say now? I get 25.
But ye have said at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity.
The Most High going to laugh at your calamity. The Most High is going to have a chuckle and a giggle because he done did everything he can do for you. He already stretched forth his hands. He sent forth his messengers. He gave you the scriptures. You ain't want to hear it. What do you say, y'all?
I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear comes. When your fear comes as desolation, and your destruction come as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me.
How many times we done seen, or even us sometimes in our unrighteousness, right? We ain't thinking nothing about the Most High, right? But then when you start going through something, now all that come out your mouth is, oh, please, Lord, please, well, you speaking in tongues and all kind of stuff. But now it's only because of the circumstance you're in. You weren't thinking about it before the calamity came to you. Right. But what happens after you get into this calamity, and the Most High's mocking you?
Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
So you see a whole generation of people out here right now scoffing and mocking at Yahuwah, scoffing and mocking the Israelites, scoffing and mocking. But it's coming a time where calamity is going to fall upon them. And, you really want to just be careful on how you treat people and how you treat this delicate word, because you don't want to get given over to a reprobate mind. Once you get thrown over to a reprobate mind, I don't see it's no coming out of that for real. You're gone in the head. So, to blaspheme the Ruach, to blaspheme Yahuwah, to sit up here and mock us for what we doing, that's a dangerous game. It said they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. You got all these curious books. You got these gemstones. You got, the chakras they searching after. All this stuff they looking after. Kundalini energy. They're trying to find that higher consciousness, but they will not find them. Verse 29,
For that they hated knowledge. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Most High. They were none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity shall destroy them. But whosoever listen unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear from fear of evil.
All praises to the Most High.
All praise.
All praises, y'all. So we just wanted to come to y'all and expose these truths to you and let you know that it sounds harsh and it sounds, look, the Most High ways ain't grievous though. Like, I'm having a good time. Are y'all having a good time?
Yes, sir.
Crazy. So, like, you know, some people may look in and be like, man, I'm just sitting here just reading a book and it's just good. Man, look, we eating good, we fellowshipping good, we giving praises, we got better songs than any of y'all out there in the world. We good over here. You hear me? I got a brother I can lean on, I got a sister I can lean on. You know what I'm saying? Do you have that? And how long is it gonna last? And then, you know, I like that last verse. Read that.
Verse 33. But whoso hearkeneth or listeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
All praises. So, you know, I know it's a lot to grasp when you're not in it, right? And for the folks that's in it, that have like kind of went astray a little bit, just get back on track. Just get back on track and go to it. You know, that's it. The Most High is gracious. Yahuwah is gracious. But to sit there and deliberately fall off the path, to sit there and deliberately just go astray and do what you want to do, there ain't no. I've never heard this before. There's light at the end of the tunnel, right? Whoso listen unto the Most High, he gonna do it safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. And we're always gonna face things in life, right? But ultimately, the ultimate goal is, hey, ain't nobody here immortal, right? We're all immortal men, immortal bodies of flesh. Everybody got an expiration date on them. Get your mind right, get your ruach, your soul right before you expire, so you don't have to fear evil, the evil that's coming. You don't have to dwell in the lake of fire. You can be in the kingdom with Elohim and his elect and his chosen. And with that, I yield and I rest. Do you got anything else you want to add, Aki?
I just got one more verse I want to bring out. Just to end it. Proverbs 3. Verse 7.
This is the book of Proverbs.
We done.
Chapter 3 and 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear Yahuwah and depart from evil.
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah. Shalom. Shalom. All praise.